I had to dump the feed. I don't know why he keeps doing this every time.
Sorry, everyone.
It's freaking annoying. I just it'll just be doing fine. Got full bars on the Wi-Fi, and then it just dies. I don't get it. It just keeps crapping out.
Signal dump.
Go ahead, John.
Apologize, guys. It just keeps dying. I don't get it.
Like I was saying, with dogs, they get aggressive.
Yeah, damn ghosts.
So when I was doing that investigation, I was tagging along with some friends, seeing how they did their stuff. And they had cats and dogs. The cats, you could see they were observing something and just kind of like chill, and then they would take off running and just would leave. Where the dog was like, okay, this is my turf. Who the hell are you? Why are you here? And growling, baring teeth, and the whole thing.
So, real quick, just the question at hand was the last question that we had seen was
what's more receptive to spirits, dogs or cats?
Cats or dog, and that's what Brother John's alluding on. So continue.
Yeah. So
We said
cats, cats
They show it.
are more.
Cats.
They'll show it, but they're cats. They're like, yeah.
So it's no different than with people, right?
Where
Somebody walks into your house, the cat might just be like,
Cats
man,
are
the dog might be like,
whatever.
Just give you
They'll
the
see
ball
it.
and leave.
yeah, exactly.
And
Yep.
the dog's like,
Exactly.
That makes sense.
So, all right, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So, is it possible to not possible? I don't guess everything's possible, but so we did the spirit box session,
Right.
and let me just start by saying that episode,
the
that-
Estes
the
method?
the Estes
yes.
method. Thank you, the Estes method. Let me just say that was creepy as shit for me, and I'll tell you why. Because when I went, I didn't know what you guys were saying in here. I had no idea what you guys were saying in
That's the
here.
whole
When I was in
point
the
of it,
other
yeah.
room, the craziest thing that happened was my audio just boom gone,
Dropped out.
almost for
Gone.
how the length that you were in there, and I was sitting right here. I'm recording. I'm watching the bars.
And you showed
then
me.
when
You
I get
actually
home,
showed me the
there was
bars when we were doing that
Nothing.
podcast.
It was gone. It's like it deleted the whole section.
Yep.
And I'm like, all right. I at this point, we were on episode 20 or 30, something like that. You kind of get good at it, so you know what not to do when you're recording. Like right now, I can scroll down and be like, okay, yeah, I'm recording. I have active bars going across the thing.
In the program, we both use the same program, so you know
You're not going to believe this.
when
Luckily,
we
we
do our
had the backup.
podcast.
I think he just botched the episode. I think he just deleted it.
It just deleted all the audio.
Your shit.
I
Really?
swear to God, it did it again. I'm not recording whatsoever. Oh no, it says I'm recording, but it's not. Wow, that's creepy as shit.
Sometimes,
So as you were saying,
I got nothing.
sometimes
Continue.
that program will do that where you're not seeing it move across the screen, but you're actually still recording.
Mm,
It's done that to me.
I'm not even gonna elaborate. Anyway, moving on.
as long as we don't lose half.
It's
the
saying I'm
episode.
recording, but it's definitely on the bottom right. For anybody who's had WavePad, when you click the record button, it shows you the red,
waveform.
Yeah.
the red kind of button depresses where it's
Right.
dark, and you can see that you're recording.
Right.
It's not depressed, so it's almost like it's not recording. Anyway, regardless of the fact, we did the Estes method.
It's a glitch, yeah.
It completely wiped out Diana's section.
Yep.
And I'm like, what the hell?
Yep.
But back on my part, when we were recording the Estes method, when I was sitting in the other room, I can't hear anything. I had a set of headphones on over the top of Apple iPlugs or whatever that I plugged into this damn thing, so I can't hear a damn thing going on.
Right.
And to actually record it back or listen to it back when you guys were asking the questions. And then the creepiest part was when I said, you had said, oh, do you have a message for Henry? And I said, Henry sucks.
That was hysterical.
It was hysterical.
And then Henry's resting.
Why do I suck? And then it said every
Why do I
day,
suck?
which was even funnier,
Yes,
right?
it was.
And you can't make it up.
But then
That's
not
your
even the
response when
creepy
a spirit
part. That's not
says
even-
Henry sucks?
I laughed
Do
at that
suck?
part. I laughed my ass off.
Oh, yeah, you did.
The
sometimes you
creepy
don't wanna
part
say
is
what they're saying.
when you said immediately after that, you said, what was that? I heard something in the hallway. Immediately after, I'm like, is somebody standing in the doorway? That was creepy as shit. And I'm like, yep, done for the night. I'm out.
Yeah. You should see John turn the headphones off. At our house, we did it.
an Estes method at our house. Now we've
determined that I should be the one always on the SDs because John cannot be.
First
on
of
it.
all, you don't do it in your own house. But we have
That's
enough.
probably a good policy.
But we have enough spirits that come in and out of the house as it is. So, number 2, you do not have Brittany do it whatsoever. We talked about it on our podcast.
Don't have
her
Brittany do it. Check.
You have Diana do it, but
I'll have John do it
and you don't have me do it because I get too
or
much
Jen
coming in. I'm sitting there on this thing like George was saying. He said, "Oh, I want to." I was like, "Go for it."
Right.
I could sense just hearing, because you're in deprivation mode at that point.
Right.
So all you're doing is hearing what's coming through your
and
headphones.
just spitting it out.
And you just spit it out.
Okay.
So I'm hearing people over to my left talking. I hear somebody being a wise ass to my right. And then I can hear somebody come up to me and say something. I'm like, I'm done.
And I said, what happened? He goes, I know that voice.
3 years ago, I lost one of my very good best friends from complications of diabetes. And we grew up together. We went to high school together, everything. He unfortunately couldn't make it up for our wedding. And I lost him. And so I never got to say goodbye. And to hear somebody walking up to you, you're blindfolded. You can't see nothing. So I'm like, who's next to me?
It is
And
creepy
then
as shit. Like
somebody say, "What's up, man?" Just in the voice, and I'm done.
Yep.
I've been doing this 13 years. I took him off. I'm like, I'm done.
Couldn't
I'm
do
not
it.
doing this.
He flung the
So
head.
you got a couple questions. Joseph, we'll start with Joseph Schultz. What is the word type? Try that again.
Want me to do it?
Mm-hmm.
What is the worst type of haunting? Have you encountered something like it? What is the worst type of haunting, just in a general sense, and have you ever encountered it?
The worst type,
I would have to say like
is
demonic.
demonic. Demonic is your worst.
Mhm.
I haven't
have
encountered demonic. You have,
I have.
but I have not.
full on demonic, like shit going sideways, blood's running down the wall,
No,
floorboards shaking, and
no, because there were warning signs and we got the hell out before shit went sideways. Pardon my French.
I gotta.
I was with another group years ago, and we were actually doing a cemetery. And
At night?
At night.
Yeah. No. Mm-mm. Nope. Bye.
We were doing a cemetery. We were doing an investigation. We were there. I heard something come out. I'm like, I was in the Boy Scouts from 6 to 18. My dad was a naturalist. I spent a lot of time outdoors. This, what I heard, was no broken animal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, we need to go.
Right.
Get back to the house. And they're like, oh, well, I had my computer up at that point. So everybody, we piled into the basement of my mom's house. This is many years ago. They're like, okay, let's roll it back. What's the big deal of this? I'm like, dude. So I'm like, let's go. So we go back to my mom's house. We go downstairs. And we're running this audio. Now, I have a dog. 2 dogs. One was mine. One was my mother's. 2 cats. So everybody all hubbub. They, the animals. Oh, hey.
Yeah.
I played the audio over the speakers. This guttural growl screech thing. My dog was sitting next to me shaking.
Oh.
My mother's dog was trying to. They just took off running, except for my dog. He's sitting next to me shaking.
Right.
Cats were gone. Dog was gone. I'm like, what the hell?
It's a whole bunch
like,
of nope.
Okay. We go, a whole bunch of nope. Exactly.
That would
So
be
we
it.
go. So we're looking for the animals. My mother had a golden retriever. She is trying to stuff herself under my mother's bed.
Yeah, no doubt. I'd
My
be doing the
brother's
same
cat
thing.
was missing for 3 days. We don't even know where she was hiding.
Michael
Weird.
Alchin, question for the ghost hunters. If you feel you are sensitive like the girls on your show, like Brittany and all that stuff, and want to improve on it, is there something you guys can do about fruit flies? Because I'm tired of these damn
You have to
every
Google-
freaking
You can make a little
podcast.
trap.
Every goddamn podcast. There's
Google
a
how
fruit
to
fly
make a
in my
little
face.
homemade trap. I did it at
If
home.
we
It
took the
worked.
trash out once in a while and weren't such
I think it's the beer. I think it's the cans.
Or you have to make a little trap.
Question for the Ghost Hunter. Sorry, Michael Alchin, or brother Michael Alchin. If you feel like you're as sensitive like the girls on your show and want to improve on it or tap into it more, how would you go about that?
I'll let her answer that one.
Perfect.
Well, they do off. Different places do offer classes. You usually have to find some type of mentor to be able to build up someone's spiritual, not on the evil side, unless you're into it. I wouldn't recommend it. But there are many spiritual advisors and helpers and classes to help you enhance. The most important thing I would say is something I'm learning, because I am an empath and a trans medium, is learning how to block when you need to block. I have that issue where I do take on people's emotions and not the good emotions. And I am working on, Brittany is actually working with me on how to put up different blocks and things like that. So you do find people. Sometimes there's spiritual stores you can go to. Like we have one in the center of town in West Haven.
Right.
They offer books and advice and workshops.
Two
things
things.
like that.
I hope that answered your question. Michael Alchin also asked what beer I am drinking. I am drinking. It's a different type of beer. It's called
Ginger ale.
Lub Bite. If you can kind of read between the lines, we're not going to disclose what we're drinking, but it's it's from America.
Actually, no, it's owned by some foreign company.
It is, but that's all right.
Well, now it is. Yeah.
Hey, we presented as fact, just like they did.
Yeah. This one's all American.
Joseph Schultz. My daughter and wife have seen shadow people. What are they? Seen multiple times in the house. Shadow people.
Hey, we did a podcast on shadow people.
Yes.
We did a commercial on
That sounds really creepy.
transparent ginger still.
Yes.
Y'all know what we mean.
You'll hear
But-
it, Joe.
They're not quite sure what they is a paranormal community. We're not sure what the hell they are. There's so much out there, and there's not enough data. Some people think that they're demonic. Some people think they're extraterrestrial. Some people think they're interdimensional. Some people think they are just evil spirits. Nobody really knows. They show up in the medical community often. Some people who have had instances of seeing shadow people, especially when they're sleeping and they're coming to awake state, is issues not with sleeping, but with sleep paralysis, where your body
that's creepy.
can't fully, like your mind's awake, but your body's not. Everybody, when we go to sleep, there's certain chemicals released, so we don't, and some don't, like myself included, don't have enough of that, so we flop like a fish when we sleep at night.
If I may, I would actually probably welcome that, because I toss and turn all night long. So if something wants to put me in paralysis, which is why it would never happen.
Well, no,
It's not like fun paralysis. It's not like recreational
I know.
paralysis.
It's a medical condition where your body is not out of the sleep state. Your mind is awake, but your body's not.
Joseph Schultz said, demonic. Great.
Jumped in at the right time.
I also think that, I have a
They're
thing.
really not sure.
They're not sure. It may be something out of the corner of your eye, too. Again, giving a perfect example, Brother Joe, just to give you kind of, a little bit of sense of, I guess, calming to it.
Mm-hmm.
When I've told the story before that when I was out in the hallway and I was doing the wallpaper out in the hallway, another brother, James McGuire, was in the prep room, or not the prep room, the chamber reflection room in the lodge, all the way behind the secretary's desk, way in the back, far enough away from me. He was painting the walls, and he came out and he said to me, what did you need, Brother George? And I said, what the hell are you talking about? He's like, you didn't just come in there and see me? I said, no. He says, well, I seen a black figure, shadow figure, behind me. So
It's a spirit.
it's a
It could
spirit.
just be a
It
shadow
doesn't
of a
necessarily mean it's
Right.
bad. So
No, not at all.
trying to put in his mind.
But like I said, in the beginning,
Son of a bitch.
There's not enough out there to know what they truly are.
Did you see it, Ken?
Yeah, I've seen a few
freaking-
things from these guys.
Yeah.
I'm trying to stick to the
I took a
serious
shot at
ones.
Joe. He took a shot back, and Joe, Warsaw brother Joe, member of the podcast, it says, "Is there a height requirement to be a ghost?" Asking for a friend.
He also asked when you guys are
No.
coming to investigate Ashler
Yes, he
Aspertuck,
did.
which is his lodge that he's a past
We
master
are
of.
working on right now nailing down this presentation
Yes.
Yes,
for the
one
Free
thing at a
Reasons
time.
podcast, and then we will be there.
My turn, bitches.
Yeah, wait your turn, Joe.
That's
Plenty
my
of
job.
ghosts to go
We have
around.
to button down this lodge, and then we're ready for you.
Do I?
Yep.
I have to. Matthew Butts, are gingers immune to
Immune to what?
What?
Haunting? I didn't see that one.
He started laughing. You watched it, and I just couldn't.
See some weird stuff
Wow.
from him, but
Are gingers immune to hauntings?
yeah, they're playing
Well,
off
a
each
lot
other
of
because
times we
Yeah.
think they're ghosts because
Yeah.
we can't see them.
So,
Yeah. they're
They're
shadow
transparent.
people. Michael Alchin said, "Can you do a lesson on blocks on one of your shows?"
there you go.
We will ask our resident blocker.
Yeah,
Awesome.
we will. Definitely.
Mm.
Definitely.
I did have a question. Now I can't remember what the hell I was going to ask you guys. I can't remember what I was going to ask. I hate when this happens. I should start. You know, I need a pen and paper to write this stuff down.
I do
You
want
do,
to
because
mention,
I'm not
I
immediate.
do want to give us a little plug
Mhm.
that if anybody does have questions after the fact, we are on Facebook. We are on
Instagram.
Instagram. We also have an email, investigators@libertyghosthunters.com. So we are
Facebook
always
page.
there
Oh, yeah, we got everything.
to answer whatever you have. No answer is ridiculous. We like laughs.
That's
And
why
that-
we
I-
like laughs, but we're also
Two
here
things.
to help people.
I do remember what I was going to say now that I'm
All
thinking
right.
about it. But other thing I want to say is if you're looking for Liberty Ghost Hunters and you can't find them, sometimes it's the searches are kind of funny. You obviously can see our event in what's it called?
Facebook.
The Facebook podcast
Yeah.
page.
Yep.
If you go into our event, the other light clicks on it. That's normal.
If you say so.
No, I'm serious. It's when it dims when me and Henry are up here doing a podcast and
Oh,
it
okay.
freaks me the hell out because it's a fluorescent light. But if they take a couple seconds, man,
Yeah, it's
It's the
humidity.
ballast.
it's humidity. It's a ballast. There you go.
Yes, that's what it is.
Anyway, if you go on to the Ghosts of Morningstar Lodge event, you will find Diana McManus and John McManus on that as well.
Yes, you
And
will.
if you go on to theirs, it'll directly drag you to their thing.
Correct.
The other thing I want to do is I want you guys to come back up again here for a Patreon episode
All right.
and talking about the Kybalion and the Emerald Tablets of Thoth. And the reason being is because one thing they talk about in especially the Kybalion is vibrations and energy. And I want to get your kind of your ghost investigator thoughts on some of the things. Me and Diana,
Oh, definitely.
me and Diane have kind of briefly talked about it a little bit in where I stand with, energies and vibration and matter and all that stuff, which is in the Kybalion.
Mhm.
Kind of like what I don't believe in, like, y'all need Jesus. Like, that's not,
I mean, y'all do, but
y'all do need Jesus.
Who
But,
needs Jesus today? Miami Dolphins.
oh,
Okay.
yes, they do. Yes,
And
they
she
do.
Low
doesn't
blow,
even follow
Diana.
football, neither do I.
Yes. And gingers, because they're demons.
did
No, they just
did
have
Worshipful
no
Brother
soul.
Danny ever
No.
jump on?
No.
He's not on, is
Nope.
he? Oh, well, okay.
So, but I'd like to have you guys on for a Patreon
Oh,
one time
definitely.
and talk about.
Get philosophical, obviously. Yeah.
We could do another Estes method too.
Yeah.
Those are freaking.
No, I
love
think
them.
I would think he'd blow George's mind at that point. Be like, okay, well, when Brittany was giving him reading. Okay, John, you can get her out of here.
That was funny. That's hilarious. Get out. She's done. Get her
And he
out.
goes, John.
All right, what do you guys
Get
say?
me out."
We wrap this up. If you are more interested in any type of ghost related stuff, slide over to the Liberty Ghost Hunters podcast. They have a podcast, and they talk about all kinds
Yeah,
of
we
different things. They've done Ouija boards. What else was the last one you've done too? Haunted objects.
Haunted objects. We also did an all girls podcast of
Yeah,
what
they
not.
did.
We
Uh-huh.
went over what not to wear.
So if you're
Yeah,
interested
what
in
not to wear on investigations.
if there's yes, that was funny actually. That was pretty funny. I didn't realize that until but slide over to their podcast. You can check out anything ghost related. Again, we're gonna be doing our event on October 19th,
Yes.
7 p.m. up here at Morningstar Lodge. If you're interested and in the local area, you can buy tickets on Eventbrite, which is right on the Freemasons podcast, as well as Liberty Ghost Hunters Facebook pages.
Yes, it is.
And you can sign up and buy tickets for the event. They're doing the general admission just to get in, and we're also doing a live spirit box session afterwards.
That's
So-
And those are the creepiest part of the
That's
whole.
the fun part for us.
Well, the fun part is actually giving a presentation in the same building you're investigating, because you're sitting there
It's kinda
listening to what went on right where you are.
Yeah, exactly.
And
that
we've had
creeps
people
them
leave
out.
and that's kind of why
investigations.
that's kind of why I ended up deciding that we're doing it here, because you're actually in the place where things are
Right.
getting caught. So,
And if you're local, come on out. You get to meet these guys.
yeah.
These fine folks.
Also, they're also going to be with us at the Seymour Car Show. And that's on September 28th at Seymour High School. I hate these fruit flies.
That event I'm actually going to be at.
You're going to be at the car
Yes,
show.
Yes.
If you
will
have
be
a,
there.
if you're in the local
Yeah,
area
there.
and you have a nice ass car that you want to put in the thing, I think it's $20 to enter your car. And if you go on the podcast page, I believe Rafferty put it up. Did he put it on the podcast page?
The
trophies.
Yeah.
They're pretty wild.
They look awesome.
Very
you
cool.
do.
The actual one trophy, he made it into a globe.
I
They're
saw
all
that.
attacking
Yeah,
you
what
right
the
now.
heck?
I know they're out of freaking nowhere. It's we're not a dirty ass
Yeah, but
crew.
we'll be
There's
there.
not like
No, I mean, I
Yeah.
showered recently.
Yeah, we'll be there with. We'll have our equipment, so you can look at it.
Mhm.
We also bring some EVPs for an EVP
Yeah, we
listening
bring some
station.
evidence with us.
Cool.
That's
Um,
cool.
so. You
Most
guys
of
will
us
have a
be
booth
there
up.
to meet.
Yeah, you guys will be up there. You'll have a booth. You guys will be doing your thing. You can come up there and meet Liberty Ghost Hunters. There's gonna be a ton of food trucks. Morningstar Lodge members will be there. I will be there. The hooligans will be there, and we'll have a good time up there.
I don't think I'll have my car done by then. I got a muscle car, but I don't think it's going to be ready for the car show.
All right,
We'll see.
We'll
You
see.
might see my ride there.
Yep. So if you're interested, come on up. Come meet us all. We're up there. We'll be selling podcast shirts. I'm sure Liberty Ghost Hunters going to have their stuff up there. I don't know if you guys sell anything.
No, we give away lollipops, ghost
Well,
lollipops.
the
We do have ornaments that we
the
Oh, there you
women
go.
of
away for a
Liberty
donation.
Ghost Hunters got together and they made ornaments, spooky Halloween,
Awesome.
Christmas
Well, there you go.
ornaments,
And Liberty Ghost Hunter branded ornaments.
and Liberty Ghost Hunter brand.
Dig it.
There you go.
And that's what the Freemasons podcast needs. Ornaments.
Ornaments.
Christmas is coming.
Yeah.
Don't you want this on your tree? You want this face.
I really do.
So, all right, we're gonna lock it up. What do you say? Thank you guys for coming.
you
You're always
for
welcome
having
to come
us,
up
as
here.
always.
We had a good time. We
Our
went
pleasure.
through. We went through 3:30. We kind of went through our itinerary of where we're going to set up this, that, and
Yep.
everything. So it's going to be. I'm
It's gonna be
confident we're going to have a good time.
Oh,
so,
definitely.
but
Absolutely.
for the Freemasons podcast, I am your host, Right Worshipful Brother George Mudry.
Worshipful brother Ken.
Diana McManus.
John McManus.
Liberty Ghost Hunter!
Have a good night, everyone.
Night, y'all.
Good night.
Good night.
Y'all need Jesus.
And y'all need Jesus.
All right, we're still live, but I've shut down the broadcast. So.
All right.
All right. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night, y'all.
Good night.
Good night, y'all. Y'all need Jesus too.
Y'all need Jesus.